conditions.
Right, exactly, and that's the reason why Boston and coastal Massachusetts are the highest risk, because that is the state that is the closest to the coast.
That's right, that's right. And this is the same system that's going to bring us these cold temperatures this weekend here in Tallahassee.
Right, so as we move into Friday and Saturday afternoon is going to be the peak of that snowfall. You can see Boston, the rest of New England, covered in very heavy amounts of snowfall.
Yeah, it's going to be rough. So look out for school closures, power outages. So now we're going to talk about what is a blizzard.
Right, so we are possibly going to see some blizzard conditions up there. So what does make up a blizzard? It contains winds that are sustained at or frequently gust to 35 miles per hour or greater.
And we have considerable falling or blowing snow that reduces visibility, and that snow does not actually have to be falling onto the ground. So.
Right, exactly. And this storm is so strong that we could be seeing winds up to even 74 miles per hour, which is hurricane strength.
Force, yeah. You don't hear that very often.
Right. And these blizzards, of course, must occur for at least 3 hours.
Yeah. So here's some of the Gfs Snowfall Forecast. As you can see in those areas, Boston, Massachusetts, we could see up to 14 inches of snowfall.
Right, that is an immense amount of snow, and that's definitely going to back up traffic and definitely stop transportation for at least a few days.
Oh yeah, we're talking airport closures, road closures. It's going to be a huge mess if this thing does impact the Northeast.
And as we get closer to that date of Saturday afternoon, Sunday morning, you're going to have to keep an eye out for those tracks because they could change to the east or west, and that's going to significantly change the amount of snowfall that we see in those areas.
Absolutely, and as we get closer to that day, the confidence in our forecast is going to increase. So.
Right, exactly. Just like we track hurricanes down here in the south and the tropics, the storm projections only get stronger and stronger the closer we get.
That's right, and it is really tough with these nor'easters because, as we said, 50 miles can really change the whole story. So.
Right, especially, and down here we're not used to that winter weather, so it's even cool for us to see these systems move across and really study and learn about them.
That's absolutely. There is a lot of similarities here to tracking hurricanes here with these nor'easters.
But luckily we won't be the ones having to deal with all that
snowfall. That's right.
We'll be gladly watching it from here in the FSU weather studio.
Absolutely.
But as for now, we're going to hand things back over to Allie Ann at the wall.
Yes, thank you, Josh. So we are going to talk about that winter weather that they just talked about at the desk, and we're going to say, welcome to Boston. So we're going to see this winter storm really affect the Boston area this coming weekend and bring lots of snowfall. Current temperatures here in Boston are a nice cool 28 with a low of 20. A little on par for average, but a little cooler than what we're used to here in Boston, but nowhere near our record of 72 in 1950 or 0 in 1920. Current temperatures here in Boston are pretty chilly. We're around the teens, a little north of Boston, but 20 here in Boston, 22 in Providence, and 22 in Princetown. As for the dew points in Boston, it's very dry right now as this high pressure moves through, kicking out a lot of that moisture. So we do have a -4 dew point here in Boston. So very dry conditions, which is actually great for snowfall development. Current satellite here in Boston. Oh, it zoomed out, so we can't really see. We do have a little bit of snow off the coast, but a lot of cloud cover, not over the continental United States at all, but very much east into the Atlantic. But we are going to see this snowfall occur with our future radar. This is the big picture we're actually talking about here. So over Boston, this northeaster is really going to affect the New England area, dropping massive amounts of snow here in Boston or the east coast of Boston, a lot of Rhode Island, really the whole area, but this is the area we're really going to focus on because this is where all that snow is going to fall. Like Ian and Josh just said, here's a nice look at how many inches we're looking at in snowfall. We could see 7 to 14 here on the east coast of Massachusetts, nice 4 to 8 in Rhode Island, and then 1 to 5 more westward as we move in. But massive amounts of snowfall really going to affect traffic and all our airports, causing delays. So you really want to focus and be safe during these times. Current watches and warnings for the Boston area. On the east coast of Massachusetts and the entire state of Rhode Island, we currently have a winter weather advisory. So really advise you to stay in and not be on the roads as there are very slick conditions. So it's not the best time to drive at all. But these conditions are going to persist as tonight our temperatures are going to drop into the upper 20s. So a nice 28 here in Boston with some cloud cover, really a nice 28, 27 throughout the entire region. Tonight in Boston, it is going to be a very, very chilly 7 degrees, something I have actually never experienced, and I don't really think I want to. We do have these northwest winds at 11 miles per hour, so you might want to bundle up tonight as it's going to be chilly. For our 3-day forecast in Boston, we're going to see these temperatures drop, but kind of stay a little around the upper 20s, upper 30s, but really focusing on Saturday where these temperatures are going to drop and give us snow. As for now, I'm going to give things over to Genevieve, and she's going to let us look at the national.
Leanne, thank you so much for that beautiful look at Boston here. I'm here with a beautiful national. Definitely we're seeing some purple up towards the northeast, which we'll get into, which Leanne actually just talked about. Quite winter weather coming towards Boston. But here we have our national weather map. Here we have quite cold temperatures going through the western United States. Here we have through Salt Lake City. Definitely some standout temperatures along the map. Here we have in Chicago 10 degrees. That is definitely too cold for me as a native Floridian. Thankfully, my home city of Miami, Florida is staying nice and warm at 77 degrees. But overall, chilly weather up in the northeast, chilly weather towards the western United States. But for here in Tallahassee, it should be pretty nice for the coming days, except for the weekend. We'll talk more about that. Here we have our dew point for the whole map of the country. In Miami, of course, they're getting some showers and some moisture air down there, so it's a 70 dew point. Here in Tallahassee, we're slightly drier at 42 with a system hovering over us going a little bit northern of Tallahassee. In Boston, where we're having that front sit over, we have a -5 dew point, very, very dry air. You definitely want to bring out the winter coat, bring out the chapstick, make sure your hands are nice and sanitized, but also put some lotion or something on there to make sure your skin isn't cracking and you're not a mess. And in Chicago as well, you have that very, very low dew point, and in Detroit, quite dry as well. For our national radar here, we have a stationary front hovering over Texas, but to the north of that, northern Texas and into Oklahoma, we have some snow, actually quite a bit. So I will say if you are in that area, please take in your pets, your people, make sure your pipes are all okay, they're not freezing, as well as that front that I was talking about over Florida here, through about Orlando, just a bit north, going up to Jacksonville area. We have quite a bit of showers that way, so be careful, I will say, if you're driving home from work, or really just stay inside, I would say, with all those showers. For our upper level water vapor, here we can see those systems. Here we see that dry air going down through Miami, and actually some storms going through the Bahamas, actually, and then up north towards that Boston system we were talking about earlier. We do have some quite dry air, and also as well this dry air followed by the moisture air behind it going up through Chicago, Ohio and such. For our northwest radar here, really what I want to point out is quite a bit of snow going through Canada, southern Canada, and going into Montana region. So I will say if you are far up north there, to be careful. For our North Plains radar, here we have some snow going through South Dakota and the southern part of Minnesota. Yep, there it is. And then going further east, we have basically a lot of clouds, but the system to come in the Boston area has not quite reached it yet. And again, here we have those storms going through the southern Florida, going into the Bahamas, and up off the coast of Jacksonville. For the Texas radar, we have quite a bit of snow up there, so I will say to be careful in Texas and in Oklahoma. And here we have our beautiful weather advisory for there. And for now, I'll be passing things right on off to Ian with our local.
Yeah, thank you, Genevieve. So here we are with a live lookout at Doak Campbell Stadium. As you can see, a gorgeous sunset right now at 61 degrees, mostly cloudy skies. Winds are north at 9 miles an hour, and that is a really pretty sight outside of Doak Campbell Stadium. Here's a look at our temperature almanac. As you can see, today we are right around average with a high of 64 and a low of 49. Right around our average, which is 64 and a low of 41. Nowhere near our record highs or lows, but we might get close to those record lows this weekend. We'll talk about that later. Here's a look at our Tallahassee radar. As you can see, we've stayed mostly dry for the day. There's maybe some rains over here in the Jacksonville area, but as for the Tallahassee region and Panama City, we are looking pretty good for now. And here's our regional radar. As you can see, we got some of those shower activities up here in Jacksonville, Gainesville, maybe some thunderstorm activities down here in South Florida by Miami. And here's our future radar. As we can see, we've got some cloud cover that's going to push through and clear out as we go into the night. Maybe some shower activities developing here near Lake City and Jacksonville. But as for Tallahassee and the greater tri-state area, we are looking pretty clear for the next day or so. So definitely good outdoors weather. And here's our current local temperatures. As we can see, we're 60 degrees here in Tallahassee, 60 in Monticello, 58 in Quincy, 56 in Donaldsville. So really mild temperatures across the region here. And as for tonight, 42 degrees here in Tallahassee, a little chilly, 42 up here, 39 up in Thomasville. Pretty chilly, but nothing compared to what we're going to see this weekend here, and we'll look at that in a second. Again, tonight here in Tallahassee, 40 degrees as our low, partly cloudy with winds out of the north-northeast at 5 miles per hour, so really not too bad tonight. As for tomorrow's forecast, as you can see, more of the same from today, 64 and sunny, quite a gorgeous day. Definitely get outdoors if you can tomorrow. As for our dog walk forecast, as we can see, 43 degrees in the morning, maybe grab a jacket, wouldn't be a bad idea. 55 by noon and warming all the way up to 62 by 3 p.m. And here's that week ahead. As we can see, we're going to stay mild for the next couple of days. Maybe some rain chances on Friday with a 40% chance of rain. But as we get into this weekend, Saturday, we've only got a high of 47. And look at that. Saturday night, 23 degrees. That is unseasonably cold here. One thing to remember, as we are not used to these temperatures here, remember the 4 Ps. We want to protect people, pets, pipes, and plants. So as we see those freezing temperatures dip below for both Friday night and Saturday night, we want to make sure we protect those things to minimize any damages. So remember, protect those 4 things and stay warm, Tallahassee. So as for now, I'm going to pass things off to Josh, and he's going to give us the lifestyle segment.
Yes, thank you very much, Ian. So let's take a look at what's going on in Tallahassee this week. Some of our aerial cams right now are going to give us a night look of the nighttime skyline here at the Sportsplex where the FSU IM sports are played. The sun is setting down in St. George Island. The seas look nice and calm over in Panama City. We've got a beautiful pink sunset going on over there. Same thing at the FSU Res at Lake Bradford here in Tallahassee. Look at that beautiful pink sky. What a beautiful sunset to end your Wednesday afternoon here in Tallahassee at Florida State. At the airports right now, delays are unlikely. We don't have any rain or severe weather in the area. Currently 61 degrees at the airport. We've got a similar story across the country right now. We aren't seeing any severe weather yet, but of course that is going to change as we head into this weekend with that ginormous blizzard that's coming into the East Coast. We don't have any delays across the nation right now. Tomorrow morning, it's going to be a cool 41 degrees. Like Ian said, make sure you grab that jacket. It's going to warm up to about 43 at 9 a.m. We're not going to see temperatures warm significantly until we get into the later afternoon. Even at 11 a.m., we're still going to be at 53 degrees. For tonight, if you want to go out and see some stars, we do have a 62% full waning gibbous. It's partly cloudy, so you might be able to see some stars. You're definitely going to see that moon out there. So I would say viewing conditions are between fair and good right now. But for sports, we've got a Florida State basketball game tonight at Georgia Tech taking on the Yellow Jackets. It's going to be 31 degrees at tip-off in Atlanta. So hopefully we'll keep our hot streak alive, especially against an ACC rival in Georgia Tech. Florida State basketball, things are looking up for them. Taking a look at our week ahead and into our weekend. For tomorrow and Friday, we're going to see pretty consistent temperatures, highs in the low 60s, lows in the mid to low 40s. But the story of the show, as we head into this weekend, those temperatures are going to take a dive. 27 for our low Saturday night, 23 as our low on Sunday. Got to make sure you take those plants inside, take your precautions. Doesn't get this cold in Florida very often. I bet you this will be the coldest that we get this year. So make sure you at least get outside, try to check it out, especially if you don't see those cooler temperatures very often. Saturday and Sunday, we are going to see very clear skies, though, because all that dry air is going to come in and lower those temperatures with a high of 57 as we head into Sunday. But as for now, we're going to throw things over to the desk to Allie-Ann to give us a close.
Yes, so we are going to see these temperatures really drop off this weekend into these freezing conditions, so we do have to take some precautions.
Yes, I would say definitely if you are thinking about heading to a friend's place to watch the basketball game tonight, definitely wear a jacket, but you won't be really needing to think about winter wear until the weekend, where it'll be quite cold, thankfully. Like we mentioned earlier in the show, we're not reaching those temperatures that we're seeing as we see snow across northern Texas and through Boston soon to come.
Yes, sadly, we are not going to have the conditions here in Tallahassee for snow, but these temperatures are going to be extremely low and something that we're not even close to ever reaching here. But as for the northeast and New England area, that snow is really going to affect it this weekend as this northeaster moves up the coast and drops just massive amounts of snow.
Absolutely. So if you are in those regions, I will say it's better to be safe than sorry. Please protect your pipes, your pets, your plants, your people, everything you can think of that you think could be harmed by the cold weather. Be very safe driving to work, especially on snowy roads. Going to school, you definitely want to layer up. We don't want you catching a cold.
Yeah, but go ahead and give us a follow on Twitter at FSU Weather.
And of course, please like us on Facebook at FSU Weather.
If you want to watch us live, you can find us on YouTube every Monday through Friday at 6 o'clock.
And please send us your pictures. Follow us on FSU Weather. We love to communicate with you guys through photos, through everything. We love talking to you guys.
So now we're going to throw things over to the wall with Ian. He's going to give us another 7-day.
Yeah, one last look at that week ahead here. Big story here, once again, 20s into this weekend, so make sure we're protecting those 4 Ps, pipes, plants, people, and pets. So make sure we're bundling up this weekend. And as we get through that cold spell, we're going to warm up quite a bit, so, not too bad for the week ahead.